I think I have a lot of misperceptions that I hear about with school social work. So we're not just playing games and we're not just hanging out. We're really problem solving and trying to figure out ways for each student to be successful at school.
I like to work a lot with cognitive behavior therapy. It's like an evidence-based practice. It works really well for like feelings of anxiety, feelings of depression, so kind of helping students to manage those feelings so that they can be successful in class.
I help with a variety of things. I help with feeling identification. I help with problem solving, whether that be with friends, whether that be with how to handle some of the feelings, but I like to talk about feelings in terms of size. So if you have a really big feeling or a really big problem, I'm here to kind of help manage that and figure out what we can do so that you're having a good day at school.
Her and I worked together with the ISD, and we were kind of thinking like we're having a hard time coming up with data about kids' behavior to use in our IEPs. And we were kind of like, we want to solve that problem, not really sure like how to do that. So we all worked together to kind of come up with this tool.
And so the tool we created uses the social emotional learning competencies from CASEL that the Michigan Department of Education also adopted. There's 5 areas of competency that the state deems appropriate for students to know and to learn, and so it's by grade band, and we kind of just made it so that it's easier to read, easier to use, but then also can give teachers a quick and easy way to give their input from what they see in their classrooms.
For me to measure success, we usually use IEP goals, so I will see like where a student is at, usually monthly, and then I write progress reports like every marking period, so I'm able to kind of track their goals and their growth, and if they're not being successful, then we can kind of change up what we're doing to use different methods to help them to be successful.
I think I know when I've been successful is not necessarily breakthrough moments, but when we go and review a student's progress a year later just to see where they were at and where they've come.
So when I started here my first year, one of my middle school students was in 6th grade, and she had a really hard time managing her feelings of anxiety. She would often leave the classroom and hide in her locker. So we really worked on like some CBT strategies, coping skills that she can use, how to like appropriately take breaks from class instead of hiding in a locker. And now she's in 8th grade and she's doing really well. She's on the honor roll like every marking period. She's got all A's. She doesn't hide in her locker anymore. She's able to like take deep breaths, use all those skills that we talked about, so it's awesome.
I had a student, and the student will stick with me forever. It was my first year, so just always kind of, questioning myself and whether or not I'm helping or being effective. But I had a student that came to us who had a lot of behavioral difficulties, a lot of anger, would lash out against peers, really struggled with friends, and struggled with just kind of functioning day to day in the school day. And so we created a behavior plan, we created an IEP with goals around how she can manage those emotions. And from the start of her 4th grade year to the end of her 4th grade year, she was flourishing. She had friends. She had very little behavioral issues. She was thriving academically. So that was something that was really, really special to witness. And it was probably one of the more important situations I've been in, because it was a group of people, a group of adults that came together to support this student. I've never really presented before. I've never done anything like that. So I was very, very nervous. I was very lucky to do it with my partner, Lily. So we work really well together. And so it was nice to kind of have that person with me there. But while we were presenting, it was really cool because we got a lot of questions. We actually were worried about filling the time, and we actually almost went over time because so many people wanted to ask more questions and they wanted more details, and we got a lot of positive feedback that said, this is a tool we've been looking for, we wanted something like this, or we wanted to create something like this, and you've done it. And so it felt really good to just also know, 1, people had similar struggles, and then 2, that they felt really grateful to now have a tool to help them as well throughout the state of Michigan.
And it was also really cool that like Brittany and I had kind of made this tool for ourselves to make our job easier, and I didn't realize it was going to kind of like snowball into this big thing of like everyone wants the tool, and we've even gotten invited to like present at other places, so I didn't really see that happening, and it was really cool.
Honestly, I always tell people that I'm like, I don't need the kids to necessarily remember my name or to remember who I am or to come back and visit or say any of those things, as much as I would love that. But what I want to know is that a kid knew that they had a safe adult at school that they could trust, that helped them be successful.
I hope they remember me as someone positive, and I hope that they're also kind of able to like remember the skills that I taught them and that they're able to apply those to their real life, like beyond graduation.